button clicked.
Uh,
Wouldn't
we're
be
in.
wouldn't be a Monday without some technical difficulties. Yeah, so we're here. I had to restart my computer like a minute and a half ago,
I am
so
firing
we're
my.
like a little bit late.
It's
Yeah.
like we just got off work or something.
So we're here. I had to.
Well, I mean, I did, but
Yeah.
kind of. I had a whole hour and a
Yeah.
half to get my stuff together. And
Yeah.
apparently, this little guy followed me in at some point. That's cool.
No, thank you.
I've seen him outside, but never. That was like behind the desk where like my feet go, so that's cool.
Yeah,
Huh.
I don't have those in Indiana.
No, I've not ran into one or I haven't ran into the business end of one of those yet. So maybe I just dodged a bullet on that. I heard it's like a bee sting. I don't know.
Right?
If anybody knows,
Yeah,
let me
I'm
know.
not interested in finding out.
But I don't know. I've been here for over 7 years and I've not been stung. So
Yeah.
but
Theron wants to know where to get leaf under mounts for F10 axles other than brazenscalerc.com, apparently.
yeah, I don't think anybody else has thought of that.
Yeah. Are they out of stock or something? Is that why he's asking?
Uh, they could be, but for like team drivers, I might have some blemished ones. That could be had for probably a good price if he really needs them.
Yeah. They are in the links tab, and you scroll down and select leaf over or leaf under on the website. There's not really a good tab for them to be under other than links. I mean, I guess technically
We
they kind of are links, but
we
the
could
leaf
do
springs are kind of links. So
a Josh Thieves Favy tab, and it'll all be my leaf spring stuff.
yeah, Josh's favorite page.
The page
Oh
Josh
man,
has no business being in.
yeah. When's the new leafer kit releasing? There's a new leafer kit.
Yeah, is there? Um, if you're referring to next month's small batch, you got like 21 more days or whatever, how many days are in this month. I don't keep track.
Yeah. Good evening, Northeast Washington. Oh, you saw the poll you made for leaf
Yeah.
springs or links for next month's drop. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first of the month. No matter what day of week it is, it's
Yeah.
on the first. Uh,
You know, the
6
time
p.m.
of day, the
6
time of day
p.m.
doesn't stay the same every time, but the date does.
I'm
That was a small misunderstanding.
I'm holding my phone out on a remote island on the coast. Hey, that was 6 p.m., right?
Now,
No,
before you left to go to the coast, before when you texted me to say you were leaving to go to the coast, I said they'll be live at 8 p.m. So you had ample time to correct me.
I think I got that as I was on the island. Actually, I didn't even know I
Well,
was going to get the service, so I think
yeah,
it worked out in some people's favor because those things were done quick. Um,
yeah, for
or
sure.
I thought I still had that scorpion right here, and I was like, oh, what the stick my arm in it.
Crap! It's gonna be on my yeah. It's dead though, so
I don't know. Well, I mean, yeah, it is dead,
could
but
it still
is
sting you
that
even though it's dead?
stinger? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know I mean, there's There's still a stinger there. Somebody's gonna get it in their package.
Yeah, it still wouldn't feel great, I don't think.
No, I'm not. If
It's
someone
probably illegal to
donates
ship that.
50
I probably wouldn't do
bucks,
that.
if someone super donates $50, I'll prick the top of my. Chris Schumann's gonna pop in.
Oh man, yeah. I need the Pro Skid last thing to complete my build. I have Pro Skids on the bench over there that I just need to tap the holes on. So those should be. I'll probably add those on Friday to the site because I'm waiting on the set screws also, but I need to tap the holes. Set screws should be here tomorrow, but I've got to tap all the holes still. So anyway, um, I went to Ultra 4 this past weekend. That's why my face is a little bit sunburnt because it was all sun all weekend, which was good. It was a very good weekend for the entirety of Team Indiana. We had in the 4600 stock class, Corey Day won his class. The 4800 class was a podium sweep for Team Indiana, with my buddy Sean winning, and then another buddy Jeff Martin and Jonathan Terhune taking second and third. Then the 4900 Pro Mod UTV class, my buddy Matt won, and then the 4400 class, local guy to me, Chad Hunt, got second place in 4400. So there was an awful lot of celebration after the races, and it was a good time, really good time. There was of course, some race drama, some red card drama, but everybody came out unscathed on it because we do our homework and we don't cheat.
What's a
Super
reason to get a red card?
super creative lines. Creative lines
Oh,
is all. Um, finding lines that don't look like they should be doable is my buddy Matt's forte. This dude can look at a line literally in the trees. There was at the Ultra 4 race, if you saw any clips, there's a big rock face that there was like 3 or 4 lines on the rock face, and there was a guy who was doing a live stream of it, Matthew Holt, and the lines in his video were the lines you could see. On around the corner of this rock face, there was a line in the trees that had a little bit of a ramp at the bottom of it. Now, mind you, this rock face is probably 30 feet tall, 30 to 40 feet tall. And there was a little bit of a ramp at the bottom of it in dirt, and then it went up into the trees. But you could see the top of the rock face.
Is that in the quarry? Yeah. Okay.
I
think
it was in the quarry. Yeah.
I think I saw the do you normally drive around?
Yes.
That? So the Ultra 4 I went to, I saw the Monster Energy truck ramp up it. If we're thinking of the same thing, and then they strung like track boundaries the following lap because he soared over that thing. But
yes,
might be different.
There was one guy in a 4400 car that did it also, but anyway, Matt saw this line when we were out pre-running and walking the track, and one of the race officials was down there, and Matt was like, "Hey, can I take this line?" And the guy looked at it and he goes, "Yeah, sure." Kind of like, "You're not going to do that." Matt was like, "All right." And he did it, and it saved him probably 10 to 15 seconds a lap. He ended up winning the race by like 23 seconds. Finished physical third, but won the race on corrected time. And the guy who finished first got second and was big mad about it because Matt's creative line basically was what won in the race. But when all the smoke settled, there was really nothing that could be done because Matt asked the race official before the race if he could do it, and they said, yeah, it's within the boundaries, go for it. If you think you can make it, go for it. And he made it every lap. So that was the race drama, but it was a good time. It was a good time. I don't have a good video of it on my phone that I could like hold up to show because
Right.
you couldn't see from where all the spectators were. You couldn't see the bottom of the line. All you saw was all of a sudden the Can-Am X3 like in the trees coming out, like just in the bushes. You had no idea where it came from. It just appeared there.
It's like
so it was pretty good.
Can-Am commercial.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Yeah. See, Jason, I told you I was going to trim my beard last week.
Yeah, did you get your ears lowered too?
Had to. Yeah, a little bit. Had to look pretty to interview for Josh. I don't know. That's not happening. I'm not moving to California. Not even if there's a fire. There's your bad dad joke for the day. I was working on my Harley Designs buggy. I was working on my Harley Designs buggy a little bit the end of last week before I left for Ultra 4. One of the things I did was on the front inner fenders there was a stamp to stamp mesh to go in the front triangle areas. So I printed the stamps, but I didn't have any mesh. But what I did have was the same metal that Metal Masher uses to make bodies. So I decided to see if that would work or not and how it would look done. And so I pressed it. It's in here, and I popped it out, and I ended up painting it with bed liner because I didn't like the shiny. And then this is the piece that holds it. So this goes in there like that. So like in the sides of the inner fenders, you could see that basically.
But
it does. It looks really good, but the mounts that Josh designed for his don't fit mine, really. Like they kind of do, but they really don't. So I ended up. There's another guy in the group that designed a mesh panel to be 3D printed and bolt in, which actually worked really well. And then today I really quickly threw a wrap on the aluminum panels that finally came after I left to go to Badlands. So here is my mostly completed build-along buggy. You can see the mesh panels in here.
Nice.
You can kind of see all the way through it. Pretty cool. I put the Brazen Camp logo, and then I put Harley's logo in there also. I didn't really know what else to put in there. I have 4 sets of panels, so I can, really change up whatever. I could have 4 different panel sets if I wanted to. But otherwise, I'm gonna probably change the shocks. I've got these axial aluminum bodied shocks that I'll probably put on it because these shocks are absolute garbage. I imagined they would be for $20 on Amazon, and I was right. They're garbage. So I got to change that. It's just your side, I think. You keep freezing.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't noticed mine freeze, but I've seen yours freeze a couple times.
Okay, I was rewatching the stream on my computer. I wasn't sure.
Oh. Man. I might end up ordering Pricey's Custom Shocks. I
knew it. Just do it. Just
I keep lagging on Theron's end. All right, well, whatever. I'm not getting a Wi-Fi low signal warning or internet connectivity warning on my end, so maybe, I don't know. Like I said, I had to restart my computer like a minute before the live stream was supposed to start, so it might be jacked. I don't know.
We haven't had any technical difficulties in a minute, so we're due.
Yeah, it's about time.
Jingle bells.
I know that Pricey's is busy, and I know that some of the guys in the group, it took a little bit of time for him to get back to them. So I guess just be patient. Theron, that's not what happens, especially not on this computer. This computer basically does live streams and design fusion work and machining strategies is all this computer does. But I'm happy with how this buggy's turned out so far. I got the interior all in it except a driver. There. So the seat's in, dash is in, and the passenger side cover is in that has the battery voltage gauge. It's got a little meter in there. And the hood has a latch system, a hinge, like a clip on the backside and a release on the front.
Yeah, that's slick.
And then the bolt-in battery connector is nice. And then the battery voltage gauge. It's mad because I don't have the radio on. Anyway, the battery 4S, 460 milliamp 4S fits in the front here just barely. And the connector's bolted on, so you don't have to fat finger around in there trying to get it plugged in. Been almost 4 weeks. Mine are in LA Customs. Nice. Well, at least they're on their way. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go that route or not. I like the look. I like the look of it, but I think I like the performance of regular shocks better. I'm going to try putting shocks on it. I just swapped to the Yokohama Geolanders today. Last week I said that this did not make it up my waterfall. Did I say that on the live stream?
Oh, you said it did really easily.
Yeah, it did not make it up the live stream on the VXT2s. I put Yokohamas on it, and it goes right up. So, same exact foams. I pulled the foams out of the VXT2s and put them in this. They're the Vanquish 2 stages on the same wheels. So, and no other changes to the buggy other than bolting the panels on, which didn't really change anything, I wouldn't say. So, but I guess the tires are just that much better. Or the the surface just likes them better. Mine took about a month. Did have a little bit of a hard time getting a hold of Steve, but when I did, he was extremely helpful and friendly. So, one thing I will say is Pricey's does things like Brazen did 8 years ago, 7 years ago, where you have to just message. And unfortunately, that leads to a lot of back and forth with customers. And when you go back and forth with customers, it's very easy for new messages, whether you've read them or not, to get kicked way down the list. So sometimes it does take just repeatedly messaging to be able to get them to see it. Back in the day, customer would message us and just be like, I want a chassis for my crawler. Okay, no problem. What kind of crawler do you want to build? Well, I want to build this. Okay, what parts are you going to use? I want to use this and this. Okay. Do you want a class 1 chassis or a class 2 chassis? And we'd go back and forth. It'd be 15, 20 messages with somebody before you ever actually got the sale completed,
Right.
which took a lot of time. I'd say the effort spent to build a website was 100% worth getting rid of 90% of the messaging that we did. So if he could just build a website, it would save him a lot of headache and a lot of time. How are the inner sidewalls of your stock optic tires? One front inner sidewall is ruined. That's really all I have to say about that. One tire is ruined. How tall are the Yokohama tires? I did not measure them. And I do not have a measuring device
Do you get the VP measuring device or
within
the
arm's
regular?
reach of me.
No matter what,
We'll have to do it. We'll have to kick it old school.
475.
Yeah, it's 475 no matter what you measure it as. We'll have to do it this way. That actually might be a fairly accurate.
Did Max set up your gear mesh?
No, the interior cover is rubbing the spur gear. This one here, I need to put a little piece of foam under the back corner of it.
I wonder if that's what's up with Max.
I would call those 4.75 right on the button. Huh?
You're starting to sound like a VP employee.
What'd you say?
You're starting to sound like a VP employee.
I would call that 4.75 right on the button. I'd say We Are Sea Rock was a success. How was you guys' deal? Like we talked about that just a little bit ago. We had a very good weekend at Ultra 4. We had a lot of trophies in a lot of classes. Team Indiana as a whole, let me see if I can find the picture. They called everybody up when we did the podium sweep. They called everybody up from Team Indiana. Looking for the picture real quick. I mean, we had plenty of people there. And then where is picture of the truck with all of the trophies on it? There.
Why is it brown?
Lots of because it's Badlands. Any Midwest race currently is brown. Here's a picture of Sean going up one of the ledges. Kind of blown out, but whatever. Super fun. Yeah. I noticed West Desert Wheeler and Pro Noob RC looks like their inner sidewalls look compromised, and I ruined 2 tires before I noticed. Yeah, the front tire, the one front tire, the rod end rubs. I don't know how they let that one slip through, but it did slip through. And the unfortunate part is that the factory wheels don't have replaceable hubs, so you can't even put a set of wider hubs on it, or put a set of rotors in it to widen it out a little bit. So you pretty much got to change the wheels to keep that from happening, or put wider hexes on it. But that's not really the best way to do it.
That sucks, Tom.
Yeah. Matt's little leafer did pretty good for what it was. He told me he broke a leaf spring or something, didn't he?
I didn't hear that. He is running those like universal shackles that are like this long. So I think he was rubbing on those. I should have sent him my little mini ones. I have like 12 millimeter shackles. But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he brought a leaf spring truck to a Link event, so you know. What's up, guys? Did I miss anything? Just some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Just ordered my first frame. Super excited. SCX10 Pro is going to be a whole new beast. Absolutely. I assume you ordered a pace setter. If you just ordered, I just got your notification here. Oh, no. Theron ordered leaf undermounts. Yeah, there was a pace setter ordered yesterday, so I assume that's probably you. I wasted a megalithic before people noticed. Oof. That sucks. Yeah, the stock wheel and tire setup rubs, unfortunately. I just tossed a 2.2 on it, and the tire won't rub now. They just change the wheels to something and put a bigger hub to be able to put a bigger hub on it, and it's not a problem. But like I said, I don't know how that got out like that, but it did.
I wonder if they were pretty adamant about only keeping that 6/10 of an inch width difference or whatnot.
I don't know. I'd have rather seen it be 3/4 and not ruin tires, but whatever. I printed these and I put the matte finished laminate on it. I think it looks pretty good, matte finish instead of glossy. I have another set that I printed that I can put gloss on. Just haven't done it yet. Can't decide whether I want glossy or matte.
All the paint turns matte after a while.
Yeah, pretty much. So these shocks compressed are probably 5 millimeters shorter. And extended, they're probably 5 millimeters longer. So I need to maybe put some limiters inside those. Buggy's looking sweet, thank you. West Desert Wheeler, you must have heard your name. They were talking about you up here just a little bit ago.
Good things.
That's a wrap on a printed part. No, I printed the wrap in house, and the panels are aluminum. I did the aluminum panels. I don't have. Oh, I do have an raw aluminum door.
Does it come?
No, they're flat panels. You can put them on without doing the like broke bends. You can just like bolt them on and flex them so they're kind of bowed. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted the, sharp edged brake look. So I just used a pair of duckbill pliers and laid it on my, kind of held it on my workbench and just used the duckbill pliers to bend it. One of the guys in the Discord group sent a. He did the file for these, and he also did a paper like
Template.
a drawing to show the bend angles, which I didn't follow the angles at all. I just kind of,
You're such a
but I
dude.
did follow. I did follow the bend lines. I looked at the template more for like where to clamp onto the part to bend it than I did the angles. But it turned out pretty good. I did have to order 4 sets of these from Send Cut Send to hit the minimum order. So we've got 8 door panels, 4 roofs, and 4 hoods. And I'm not even going to use
You
any
get
of
some
the hoods
practice
now that.
pieces.
What's that?
I said you got some practice pieces.
Yeah, unfortunately the hood. Well, the way the hood was originally designed, it bolted to the welded brazed in structure in here. But the guy that did this template for the latch, the
Mhm.
holes are in a different location, clearly. So I had to make a new hood and drill new holes. But whatever. Super easy. I had plenty of aluminum here to do it. Ordered a 3D printer. This will be my first printer. Any tips for a newbie? What printer did you get? That will
Ender.
determine what I tell you. I had I still have my Ender. It's fine. It's just god awful slow. I don't think that I will likely ever plug that printer back into the wall. It's on a shelf, out of the way, and that's probably where it's going to live until 5 years from now when I steal the power supply off of it and throw the rest of it in the trash can. Because you bought a bamboo A1, so that's the little bamboo A1. There's really nothing to tell you. Download the Bamboo app on your phone and download Bamboo Studio on your computer, and it pretty much handles it for you. I bought a Bamboo P1S, and I haven't had a single failed print. I'm on my 5th roll of filament currently, and I never used a single whole roll through my Ender. Like, I owned the Ender for 3 or 4 years, and I didn't go through a single roll of filament, and I'm on my 5th roll now on the Bamboo. So I'm glad you said Bamboo, because if you'd have said Ender, I'd have felt real bad about talking bad about my Ender before you replied. Not the Mini. Not the Mini, the A1. Got it. The A1's the open one without any enclosure, I think. Correct? Bamboo A1. Yeah. Did you get the multicolor, the AMS, the standalone AMS thing? Yeah, I'd say if you ordered a Ender, I'd say return it and get your money back. I did not get the AMS unit for my Bamboo because I don't I don't think that I care much about printing multicolor.
We say stuff like that now, but
The nice thing is I can add it later if I decide that I care to do no AMS. Got it. Get a textured plate. I think all of the Bamboo printers come with the textured PEI plate now.
are they flippable? I know some
Yes.
plates are. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um. I'm looking at the Bamboo site real quick to see. Build plate. Yeah, it says textured PEI plate included on the A1. And I haven't had any issues with the PEI plate, so the AMS is on sale now. Yeah. My local hobby shop had a swap meet Sunday. I sold some of my junk so I could order some more junk to build a new rig. That's kind of how I do it.
I'm
AMS is
about to
nice
be
to
on.
have multi-materials loaded. I could. You what?
I'm about to be on the Brett program. I'm gonna sell a truck and then get a Bamboo.
You should. You should. Multi-materials. I could see having multi-materials, but I have a roll of TPU, but otherwise I just print everything in PLA. Again, like, I only bought the Bamboo because I was so tired of the epically slow Ender. Like, I'm gonna build another one of these. Okay. To print the fixtures for this truck on the Ender 3, I have 97 hours of printing. I kept track while I was doing this. 97 hours in the fixtures. I did not print the engine, any of the engine detail stuff, the radiators, or any of the interior on my Ender, and it still was 90 hours. I'm going to keep track now. I'm going to reprint everything on the Bamboo, and I'm going to keep track of how long it takes. And I think I'm probably going to be astonished by the time savings. Like, there were guys in the group that when Josh would release the files at 1 a.m. my time, that already had them printed by 6 a.m. my time, and I would get to my shop and load everything onto the into the printer or into Cura or whatever, and it would be like a 24-hour print. I'm like, these guys just did it in 6. Like, why? Hey guys, since you're giving out free advice, I'm looking at an MCO 55 CNC for $1,200. Smash or pass?
I assume it's gonna be like a manual.
I would have to say, what year? Is it currently powered and running? Does it come with any tooling? Tooling is a grossly underestimated cost. This tool right here for my lathe is a dual OD holder. This goes in there. This is $1,300. There's 12 of them in there. So tooling is outrageously expensive. Tool holders specifically. Otherwise, without seeing the machine, hard to say. Building a comp truck using the high-low, nice. I've been seeing more and more and more high-lows pop up complete. So, I've been seeing a lot of cool pictures of high-lows. And today's thumbnail is a mullet chassis, gold mullet chassis that customer built. Small batch mullet chassis. Turned out really good.
Yeah, actually, man, I want that body.
Yeah. P1S is on sale right now. TPU is not AMS compatible. Yeah, I knew that it was not AMS compatible. But I'm about to scrape through my first high-low carbon fiber chassis, getting pretty thin in spots. Tell me you like crawling without telling me you like crawling. So, Rusty, if you do that, send me a picture of it, and I will gladly send you a replacement, free of charge, because that's how we do things. PLA is trash. PETG is way better. Yeah. Don't really care for what I'm doing. PETG also would not hold up as well, I don't believe, to torch brazing. none of it holds up to torch brazing. So I'm just going to go with what I already have. Want to build a Harley buggy. It's the reason I ordered it. It's the reason I ordered it too. Wes, is that half a mullet?
Something like that. But yeah, all these, I've been prototyping. I'll cut like half frames. Most of the stuff I'm working on is gonna be from the skid forward, so I don't print off the whole frame for like test fitting. Back to Brett's point here. Just this little deal here took 6 hours. It's kind of funny to like say it out loud. These couple of pieces here were 6 hours to print. That probably would have been like
Silly.
30 minutes, 45 minutes on the bamboo. But yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
This is easier for me to do for test fitting purposes. It all looks good on the software, but printing it actually, when I had this paint hard mount slotted through the frame, it did not go as well in reality as it did in the program. So that's what I do.
Yeah.
Saves time and money. Otherwise, I'd be having the shop cut that. I would get the pieces. Doesn't go together, and then basically I'll just throw this in a pile of scrap. Or if I had a purpose for it on a personal truck, I would cut it, manipulate it, whatever it be. But I get more scraps than I do personal rigs, so out the back.
Yeah.
But now I don't mind throwing away plastic. You know, stuff like this costs like what, like $1 and an hour of time. If that fails, then it's not a big deal. So that's my primary use for a 3D printer. That Lexus body, that was kind of for fun, and I probably won't do that again. Unless I got a bamboo. Then I'm not super sure about the filament. I think I used PLA. I don't know. I'm not taking it outside right now. It's like 100 plus. I'm not going to risk that.
Yeah. Perry, one more thing to keep in mind. Make sure that whatever machine you buy, you can program with whatever program you want to use. So, like, if you plan on designing in Fusion and creating toolpaths in Fusion, make sure that there is a post-processor for either specifically that machine or at least the controller. But your post-processor will probably have to be modified if it's for the controller, which can be a pain in the ass also. It took me a year from buying this lathe behind me to make the first usable part because of all of the fiddle farting around I had to do with the post-processor in Fusion to be able to make Fusion work with this machine without spending an absorbent amount of money on like something like Mastercam and then still having to piss with it too. So just make sure that whatever machine you're looking at can be programmed with a reasonably priced program, because even if the machine was free, free, and it costs $13,000 to get Mastercam. If you can't program it easily without Mastercam, then you're 13 grand in before you buy any tools. So keep that in mind. Tolerances are close. Mine's about 0.2 or so off every time, so it's easy to cater for. Yeah. Yep. I mean, printing isn't precise. It's close, but bed leveling, layer heights, extruder wear, it all takes into account. Let's see. There you go. Mark, I am Brett. That is Wesley. And we are Brazen Scale RC.
Those are IRS questions right there.
What is your social security number, and did you pay your taxes last year?
I gotta go.
Yeah,
Nah,
I paid my taxes.
It's
We'll go ahead and turn those off. Turn those off now. I don't like the bubbles. I don't like the bubbles with the names. Or as Scale Builders Guild would refer to us as breasts or wet.
yeah.
Whatever. Also, sidebar, I didn't get to drive my Jeep very much at Ultra 4 because they had basically all the cool shit roped off for race course. And with all of the racers pre-running, I didn't want to be in the way goofing off. And quite honestly, the obstacles that I wanted to hit would have been backwards on race course. So, like, I would have been climbing a rock face and they would have been coming around a corner to come down it. So, it really wouldn't have been the best situation. However, the couple of minutes I did get to wheel it with the 40-inch stickies was way better than with wore out DOT 37s. And the ride is so much smoother at 15 or 10 or 12 psi, whatever's currently in the tires, on the stickies rather than like 30 on a DOT tire. Like the little bumps and stuff in a grass field, couldn't feel them. Where with aired up 37s, you could definitely feel them. So I'm looking forward to hauling it somewhere else to go wheel it.
Or maybe just not on a race weekend.
Yeah, just not on race weekend. I've seen that situation so many times at backdoor, racers coming down and guys trying to go up, especially this year because race course went down backdoor, and a lot of guys were pre-running it, and just rec wheelers were trying to go up, and it kind of created a cluster. So sounds like she's ready for some Red Rock. I would love nothing more than to load up 3 or 4 RC cars and that Jeep on a trailer and head that way. I've talked about it, and I need to be about it.
So
if I do it though, I would have to stop in Colorado, in Denver or Lakewood, and see the guys at TGH, and then I'd have to stop in Moab, and then I would make it down your way. It's on my list. It's on my short list, actually. That trip. And then I want to do the Rubicon just because I want to do the Rubicon.
What's the desert? Are you going to Trail Hero? What is that? No, end of October. I could have my dates wrong, but I'm thinking about going to Trail Hero. I want to try and get the GX up the chute. I saw a 100 series Land Cruiser do it. I'm pretty sure I could get up there.
If I went to Utah this year, I would not go to Oklahoma for Crawlapalooza. I'd have to pick one or the other. And honestly, probably wouldn't hurt my feelings to skip Crawlapalooza. I could skip Crawlapalooza for 1 year and go out to Colorado or Utah or Utah. Probably wouldn't hurt my feelings.
Nice. Okay, that's what I was
So you
thinking.
drove a stock Raptor up it.
That's a wide boy. Yeah, I'm pretty confident I could do it.
Like I said, Logan, I think I said it when you were on here a couple weeks ago or whatever. I'm not afraid to put my JK, full body JK, in situations that a lot of people probably wouldn't put a full body JK. Just let me take the hard top off first. I don't want to wreck a hard top. They're not that they're expensive, but they're not really cheap either. When they're relatively easy to take off to not ruin them. So I prefer to just do that. Utah is pretty rad. I'm in Salt Lake City. Makes sense. Salt Pond RC. Didn't even put two and two together till just now. Red Dirt RC Crawlers. Let me click on your thing here. Took my pace setter to a top 10 finish a couple weeks ago at the Colorado State Championship, finishing 7th on some tough courses. Nice job. Good driving. Colorado and Utah are both pretty high on my want-to-do list. I've been to Colorado before a bunch of times to go snowboarding and stuff like that, but I've not gotten to take a 1-to-1 out there when it's not 0 degrees and 17 feet of snow on the ground. So I'd like to get some goofing.
It fluctuates a lot, man. Like, was it the end of a year ago, the end of last month, I think I went out and did all the like Alpine loop. A mutual buddy of mine said that I think the top of Cinnamon or something pass still has too much snow or something. So like I think you almost have to play it off, like figure out what year it's going to be open.
Yeah. Is Ultra 4 doing famous reading this year? Ultra 4 is not racing PA this year. However, there is a 12-hour endurance race there that a lot of Ultra 4 guys are going to. There's rumor among the racers that when Dave Cole took over Ultra 4 again, took it back over, that he and the owner of that park in PA don't get along. Same with Rush, Kentucky. So both of those got taken off of the East Coast race series. But there is a 12-hour race, so. What are the changes to your Pro chassis? My Pro's about ready for a change. So I moved the motor mount locations down about 5 millimeters to lower the motor down. That does require you to take the standoffs between the transmission and the motor mount out. You can bind everything and get it lined up, but it puts the whole chassis in a stress, and the truck's not happy when you do that. Then the skid angle is 10 degrees instead of the factory 3.5 or whatever it is. And to do that, I had to push the forward motor mount forward, again, like 5 millimeters or 6 millimeters to keep the factory prop shaft between the motor mount and the transmission. Because when you angled the transmission, it kind of it forced it forward just due to the angle. So I had to lower and move the motor mount forward more to get the prop shaft good. Then the shock towers are way smaller You have 6 holes in each shock tower for shock placement adjustment without if you've got your 3 holes horizontally that don't change ride height at all, so you can change shock angle without changing ride height like the factory chassis does. And if it's too low, you can drop the shocks down 1 hole. Basically, you have a hardline chassis, so basically the hardline was based off the pace setter, but I had to do things differently for the VRD carbon than the SCX10 Pro. But the overall profile of the chassis is pretty similar, except the pace setter is a 10 degree instead of a 6 degree like the VRD, or 3 degrees like the factory chassis. I heard engineer is open on the Ore side. Not sure what you mean there. Please come to Colorado. I do need to come to Colorado.
I saw a video. So I'm on the San Juan Mountain page. I saw somebody took a video of some snowboarders coming down the top of Engineer and skimming a small water pond.
That engineer pass. Got it. Okay. You lost me there. I'm not super up to date on the names of the passes and stuff.
I've only did all of them once, so I'm not no expert myself.
Red Dirt, make sure you tag us. I'd love to watch the video. Maybe share if we can too. That all sounds awesome. I'd definitely like to try one of those. We can get you fixed up. My Pacesetter trail truck with TGH trans was hurting feelings with a bunch of friends a couple weeks ago. Made me run tiny TSLs, and I was keeping up with 475s. I like smaller tire trucks, to be honest, and I ran my Pacesetter on 419s more than I ran it on 475s, just because I just really liked it. Checker Past, good question. I was going to bring this up on Wednesday on Josh and Matt's live stream. Rich and Wyatt have both left Horizon/Axial and gone to Reefs RC, along with Paul, who also used to work for Axial/Horizon. So they've got a bunch of good guys at Reefs, which means that they have to have a big idea brewing. They have to have a big idea brewing, and they have to have the money to do it, clearly, because they're hiring people to do it. And the guys that they hired to do it, no. And the guys that they hired to do this are well-known, good engineers in the hobby. So I'm curious. I don't know any more than you guys do. I saw the press release is all I've got. So I don't know. Someone's game is going to be stepping up. That's that's no doubt at all. We'll see what happens. Realistically, I mean, though, it could be a year or 2 years before we ever know what the hell they're actually doing. Aside from a year from now, stalking Wyatt and finding out where he's going wheeling at and popping up to see if he's driving something that the public hasn't seen yet. I agree. Bringing that much talent is certainly a precursor to something big. Yeah. That's what Josh was alluding to when he mentioned a loss of talent at Horizon. Yes. That and a couple of months ago, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, we were talking about Wyatt running a Oracle chassis on his SCX10 Pro when it first came out in Class 1. And then Horizon/Axial saying, no, we need you to run the factory chassis, and him having to modify it. And then Josh was like, well, not anymore. And I'm like, what's that mean? And now I know what that means. We got to see some unreleased tires from Vanquish this weekend. Why will that not stay up there? Vanquish is fucking with my live feed and took that comment down now. There was a couple of reels posted from the event that showed Josh's Buggy on some 2.2s. I may or may not have known about those, but they are a good-looking tire. I will probably have to order a set for this so I can run 2.2s on it. So, but anyway, pay attention. Yeah, you have to pay attention to everything. Before the year before the SCX10 Pro came out at Nationals in Alabama, when you were there, when Wyatt's truck was in line, it was covered in a shirt. He would run it on course and cover it in a shirt. He would carry it to his truck and cover it in a shirt. It was not on the show and shine table. It was not ever anywhere more than 2 or 3 feet from his feet. He wouldn't let anybody see it, and then it took another year for us to find out what it actually was. So, yeah.
Although
Reefs makes a
pretty
Corolla drift car to
confident.
match Rich's 1-to-1.
I'd be pretty confident they're going to be putting together an RTR, giving where Reef is at with his resources and what the talent that just got hired on there is capable of designing. It only makes sense. I mean, they're not just going to be making servos. I think Reeves already has a pretty good stance on servos.
Yeah, it has to be something. It has to be something way more than just their standard servos that they've been doing. And to pull 3 guys from Horizon/Axial that were well-known guys that had been there for a while, you know, Rich and Wyatt were head engineers, product developer engineers. Like, those guys aren't going to go to design servos. So,
no.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm just as curious as everyone else is.
Yeah, only time will tell. But yeah, I think you're gonna be on something. Stocking the local events. Hey, Wyatt, what you got there?
Oh, it won't be at the events. It'll just be at random crawl spots where he thinks he's by himself, like Josh does. Goes up to Donner or goes to Folsom to play with stuff, and you just have to catch them there. Just put a GPS unit on their car and stalk them like a predator.
Yeah. Pretty scary.
Yeah.
I'm not into the hobby that enough to be stalking people, but you know.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Oh well. Air tag their vehicles, yeah. Well, it's been a little bit over an hour. If you guys have any quick questions or anything, let us know. I'm sure Wesley's dying to get some dinner, and I'm ready to get home for the day. I've been here since 6:45 this morning, so
yeah,
I'm ready to get out of here too. Otherwise, thanks everybody for checking in. Next Monday I should be good. The following Monday I will not.
Got it.
I'll be in
We've
Ohio.
had a pretty good streak. I think everyone here kind of appreciates.
Yeah. The viewership goes up a lot when we're consistent with posting.
I mean, it is
Imagine
the
that.
17th best RC Car Live broadcast. So
Yeah. 17th or 26th or something like that. So, all right. Thanks everybody for checking in on us. We will be back next Monday, and then as always, keep an eye out for the end of the month. Usually the live stream before the end of the month, we will show a little bit
Little
of a
tease.
teaser of the next month's drop.
That'll be
Real quick, is there any value in running an OG Creeper Delrin/3D case versus the current models? No, the 3D printed version, Delrin or 3D printed versions are going to flex, and the holes are going to strip, and just the newer versions are much more refined.
I don't think the weight's worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I'll
the
take
bearing holes and threaded holes are much better in a machine case. So
you can
anyway,
put a screw in.
All right, guys, we're getting out of here for the night.
All right.
Shelf Queen. Yeah. All right, see you guys. Thank you.
Peace.
Oh, don't do it. There we go.